Now on BBC One, here's Anne Purvis with the weather forecast, including the holiday prospects.
Good evening. Well, with such a large area of low pressure dominating our weather, I suppose it's not surprising to find that there were quite a few showers over the country today, and some of them were quite heavy and thundery, particularly over northern parts, and quite a few coming in over western areas too, in these very strong westerly winds. Now, tomorrow it's going to be another showery situation again. We're still going to have these strong winds with us, so quite a few blustery showers, and again in northern parts they're going to be heavy and thundery in places, but lighter and more scattered further south. And later on in the day in southwestern areas, some of those showers will be dying out altogether ahead of this next system that will be coming in. There's a fairly weak ridge here that will be running down southeastward, and that'll dampen out the showers in the southwest. But then this depression will be coming in during Saturday, spreading rain right across most parts by the end of the day. And then on Sunday, clearing up from most parts from the west, turning more showery with some sunshine between those showers again, although Scotland will probably stay wet throughout the weekend then. But that's all in the outlook. Let's take a look now at the chart for noon tomorrow. And there you can see quite a lot of isobars on the chart, and that means very windy weather and quite a few showers coming in those westerly winds as well. There you can see the first signs of that next system, but that won't be troubling us tomorrow, but it will be bringing rain in from the west on the Saturday. But for tomorrow's weather now, well, quite a showery picture for many northern parts again, with some heavy and blustery showers, some thunder mixed in probably in the afternoon as well, and those showers starting right from the beginning of the day there, but in southern and eastern parts probably starting off dry with a fair amount of sunshine about. But again, like today, there's going to be cloud bubbling up with scattered showers developing from the middle of the day onwards really, and again quite cool in southern areas as well as up in northern parts, and again very breezy too. But later on in the day you probably find some of these showers in the southwest clearing up. And then if we go look ahead to the weekend weather for the continent, for those of you lucky enough leaving our regions where it's rather changeable, well, down in the Mediterranean you'll find a lot of hot sunny weather about. There may be one or two scattered thunderstorms about at first over Italy and the Adriatic, but those will soon clear away. But as you work your way northwards, the cloud will increase, and over northern France, the Low Countries, Germany, Denmark and southern Scandinavia, it's going to be cool and changeable with periods of rain at times. That's it. Good night.
A look ahead now to our programmes tomorrow night on 1. At 6:25, How to Steal the World, the feature film starring the men from Uncle, Robert Vaughan as Napoleon Solo and David McCallum as Ilya Kuryakin. At 7:50, Russell Harty leaves the seaside to go inland and spend a day on Lake Windermere. There's international athletics from Crystal Palace at 8:20, and after the news at 9:25, Cagney and Lacey, those two shapely New York cops, are assigned to bodyguard duty. At 10:15, regional programmes, and then a return visit to the athletics at 10:50 is followed by the late film, The Liberation of L.B. Jones. It's a powerful and uncompromising study of racism in a small Tennessee township, starring Lee J. Cobb. Friday night on BBC One. Well, this week's Radio Times has Gloria Hunniford on its cover, and she's had to wait nearly all week for the big day to arrive. However, tomorrow at 12 midday on Radio 2, she'll be hosting her show from on board a cross-channel ferry as she returns from a shopping trip to Calais. You can join her at sea on Radio 2 tomorrow at 12 midday. And earlier, the Radio 1 Roadshow will also be across the water, although slightly closer to home, when Peter Powell presents his show from Sandown, Isle of Wight. Now the time, it's just after 9 minutes past 12, and BBC One is closing down, so on behalf of all of us here, this is Peter Brook wishing you a very good night.